Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Amayas house, aka Owlette's house, from the show PJ Masks. Before we begin, all I want to say is if you enjoy this video, please do remember to drop that like, as it really does help me out and the channel out very much. And if you enjoyed the build, consider sharing it with a friend. Sharing is caring. And I would also like to point out that I have made some other PJ Masks related builds, including the other two main characters' houses, and of course the headquarters as well. You'll be able to find all of those in the card system and the description below. But without any further ado, let's get started. Before we begin, I can tell you that we will require every single one of these materials that you can see in both my hotbar and my inventory right now. Please make sure that you have access to every single one of these. I can also tell you that the house will require this much space to make, 15 blocks left to right and 24 blocks front to back. I'm actually making it next to Catboy's house, aka Connor's house, and I would suggest you do the same if you're looking for a collection of these. Please pause the video if you do need time to gather all of these materials or to make this grid in your world to better plan out the build. And once you have got everything prepared, we may begin. So, I am going to start on the very front left hand corner of my grid, and I'd recommend the same if you have built your grid. Begin by placing a white concrete block on the front left hand corner of the grid, and then place 9 additional blocks behind it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then extend into the right by 1. And go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place an upright diagonal white concrete. Go up by 1. Then place an upright diagonal white concrete. And go up by 1. And then an upright diagonal white concrete. And go up by 1. Place an upright diagonal white concrete. Go up by 1. Then place an upright diagonal white concrete, go up by 1, and then finally an upright diagonal white concrete, go up by 1. So in total we should have this many white concretes stacked on top of each other diagonally. We now have to come back down to the ground. So we'll take the very last diagonal that we placed, and we want to place a bottom right diagonal coming down from it, and go down by 1. And a bottom right diagonal, go down by 1, bottom right diagonal, down 1, bottom right diagonal, down 1, bottom right diagonal, down 1, bottom right diagonal, and then hit the ground. We then want to take the block that hits the ground and we want to go left of it by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Place glass on top of the last 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Stack glass on top of this. Then stack 2 rows of white concrete on top of that. 1, 2. Then stack 2 rows of glass on top of that. 1, 2. Then we have to do 2 things. So I want you to take the top left corner glass and place 3 white concrete going left of it. 1, 2, 3. Then place a glass. And then I want to take that same glass block that we started from and I want to go up by 2 using white concrete. 1, 2. Place 2 light blue glass. 1, 2. And go left of the second glass by 2 using white concrete. 1, 2. Place 3 light blue glass pane on top. 1, 2, 3. And take the middle block and extend it right by 1 and left by 1, like this. We're going to come all the way down to the ground, and continuing to go left of the window that we placed earlier, we want to place 2 white concretes. 1, 2. We then want to go up on top of this by 3. 1, 2, 3. Go left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Hit the ground. Actually, I do apologize. We then want to go left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit the ground. Use a dark oak wood door to place a dark oak wood door inside of the middle of the area that we have created. Place red concrete around the door like this. Like that. Above the door in front of the white concrete, I want you to place 2 rows of red, like 1, 2, in line with the door and just above it. And then extend the first row of red concrete upwards by a row. So, very much like this. I want you to fill in the remainder of the front of the house in using white concrete blocks. So make sure that it's all completely filled in using your white concrete like this. Just like that. And then I want you to place quartz slabs underneath every window that isn't that big star-shaped one at the top. So underneath this large window right of the door, the window above that, the small window left of that, and the slightly larger window above that as well, to give us something which should look exactly like this. We also want to place a doorbell, which goes directly right of the door. Place a button on the wall, item frame around it, and then you have a doorbell. Using red concrete, I want to... actually, first we'll do the base of the house. So, what we're going to do is we're going to use white concrete, and we're going to take the back left-hand corner of the house, or the back right-hand corner, however you look at it. And we want to place 13 rows of white concrete coming backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Extend that 13th block across and connect it to the back of the entrance. Be wary as not to connect it to the wall, but to connect it to the house. We then want to add the roof. So the roof's quite easy. Use red concrete and begin on the left side of the roof down at the bottom, and place a single red concrete next to this white concrete here. And then place red concretes next to all of the white concretes coming up to the top of the roof, like this. When you get to the very top, I want you to place 2 red concretes at the tippity top, like 1, 2, coming up. And then build red concretes coming down the side of the roof like this. And eventually we will get to the point where we can just place a single red concrete coming out the side like that. What we then want to do is extend all of those red concrete blocks forward. So all of those side blocks of the roof, we can extend them all 1 row forwards like this, till they overhang the front. And then we're just going to connect them together underneath like this. If you start from the bottom, just connect the underneath parts together. Then you won't have any sort of like weird holes in the... You won't cover anything up on the front of the house, basically. The goal is to end up with something that should look exactly like this, which is looking quite good at the moment. Now, once we've done that, we want to take the roof itself, and we want to extend it. How many rows backwards? We want to extend it 14 rows backwards. So all of these red blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You should find that they overhang the back of the house by 1 row. And of course, not only do you want to do that to just the 1 row of red concrete, but they all have to go, because of course this is a roof. We want all of the inside of the house to be pretty much covered up. So extend all of the blocks backwards equally, and then we can move on to the next part. There we go. Just like that. And just as we did on the front, we want to connect all of the bottom of the roof together at the edge of the bottom, like this. So just underneath all of these outer red concrete blocks, just like this. And we're going to use white concrete to fill in the gaps at the bottom of the house, meaning I want you to raise up the left and right sides of the house using white concrete until it connects to the base of the roof and until you can no longer see any gaps, which should be just about there. Perfect. Do the same on the opposite side. Raise up the white concrete until it hits the point where you can no longer see that there's no holes in the wall. It's pretty much exactly all we're doing. And once you have completed that on both the left and right hand sides of the house, we're going to do the same thing on the back of the house. I want you to basically, it might even be easier from the inside, fill in the back of the house using white concrete. Just raise up the base structure of the house until you eventually have no gaps in the house. If you catch my meaning, and I'm sure you do. All you gotta do, just keep raising it up and up and up. Make sure that there's absolutely no gaps in the house whatsoever. And then once you've done that, we can move on to the next part, which is going to be very simply, we're just going to be doing the little garden out front. So we will end up with a nice blank canvas at the back of the house. The sides of the house have been filled in. Let's move our way to the front of the house now. So I'm going to dump the buttons, item frames, probably even the door, don't really need that. And I'm going to grab lime terracotta, stone slabs and oak fence. So I want to take the front wall of the house that we placed a lot earlier now, and I want you to place 3 white concrete going right of it. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to place a dark oak fence, gap of 1, dark oak fence. Then I'm going to use a row of white concrete. I'm going to place a row of white concrete going right until it overhangs the side of the house by 1 row, and then I will connect it to the front of the house as such. I'm going to place on top of the dark oak fence another row of dark oak fence. The right dark oak fence, I'm going to place a white concrete to the right of it. Dark oak fence running along the front of the wall. A white concrete on the corner. And then white concrete moving backwards to connect back to the house itself. And then the left oak fence, I'm just going to run a row of white concrete backwards all the way to the wall of the house. Just like this. I'm going to connect the fences together underneath using a row of stone slabs, like this. I'm also going to chuck down a couple of stone bricks, kind of like this, stone brick slabs, just kind of vaguely leading to the front of the house, the entrance like so. And all I'm going to do from beyond here, because this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually the house done. There's nothing else left to this house other than the fact that I'm going to dig out the garden and place some lime terracotta in there instead. So I'll tell you what, I'll do that and I'll be back. And if you guys want to do that for yourselves, I'm sure you'll manage to dig out the grass and replace it with lime. And yeah, let's do it. And this is what the house will look like once you have filled in that front garden with some lime terracotta. And you might also want to place some stone slabs just along the front door as well, because I think that adds a nice little touch to it. And that is the tutorial done, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this one. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really does help me and the channel grow. I'm loving all of the love and attention that this second channel gets, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. If you want to subscribe, click the little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And of course, if you do want to see anything else by me, check out the card system and the description below. You can see that we have a little collection of PJ masks, houses / builds in the background. We only have one more to do that I have planned at the very least, unless you guys want to see a little something extra. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really do appreciate every single one of you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!